There have been tests, trials, lessons, and now we are on the next phase called the next chapter. The hardest thing for me was to wait and be patient. This next chapter began October 4th, 2009, when I passed out here at church. The Lord spoke and said that I would faint, but not to be afraid, because He would tell me everything that was going to happen before it did. The room got dim, and the music became muted, and the Lord told me to close my eyes. I went limp, and I leaned against Wes. I heard everything, I just couldn't respond. I spent 74 days at Baptist Hospital. I had to be intubated 3 times because I kept pulling out the vent. I had the vent because I couldn't breathe on my own due to a swelling of my windpipe. God spoke and said He was testing both Wes and my faith, and that we both now had strong faith. After this, I have very little memory, and I've had to rely on Wes and Amy to fill in the blanks for me. On February 22nd, 2010, I had my first reconstructive surgery on my windpipe, where they replaced part of it with plastic tubing. It was a serious operation because they had to secure my airway and at the same time do delicate surgery around my vocal cords. In April, they took the trach out for the first time at the clinic, and on the way home, I had trouble breathing again. Wes called an ambulance, and they took me to White County Hospital. They tried unsuccessfully 3 times to replace the trach, and finally they sent me back to Baptist, where they succeeded. I want to quote my surgeon: "It's only by the grace of God that you're alive today." They then sent me to UAMS, where they treat difficult cases. I had my trach for over a year, and for all of 2010, I couldn't speak a word. It was frustrating for both me and my family. My second reconstructive surgery was February 11th, 2011. It was a 5.5-hour procedure, and 4 days later, they discovered a leaking artery. I had to have emergency surgery. And while I was still in ICU, my nurse Julie, after hearing my story, left me this pillow. And I consider this a message from God. Jeremiah 29:11. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper and not to harm you, plans for a hope and a future." I have to get a drink. All right. After this last surgery on my artery, my surgeon said it was a miracle. 1 month later, during a dilation of my windpipe, that same artery began leaking into my lungs. They did more emergency surgery. They put a stent in to stop the bleeding. I've had 3 more surgeries for dilation of my windpipe, but I've had no more emergency surgeries. My last hospitalization was July 20th. I was in bad shape. I was scared and very short of breath, so they added one more breathing treatment. It was just too much. I told God I couldn't take it anymore. God heard, and within 1 hour, my breathing had improved, and I felt better. I was not scared. I felt peace and comfort that can only come from the Lord. I was released the next day. God won't give you any more than you can handle. I love you, Lord. I am truly blessed. I have a loving God who has never deserted me and never will. His love is unconditional. He has given me many second chances. I have a loving family who support me in everything. They have stood by me in good times and in bad. Wes, my best friend, began praying for me 21 long years ago. It seems every time something bad would happen, two good things would take its place. The Lord answers prayers in His own time. People in other cities and other states have heard what the Lord is doing to me, for me, who also pray for my healing. Many of these people have never met me. My doctors call me a miracle child, and my family calls me their miracle. Then, 5 years ago, my brothers and sisters here at Cross Point started praying earnestly for my healing. You started praying, and you never stopped. I can't begin to even thank you for your prayers, your love, and your support, except to return them. I don't deserve it, but God heard and answered your prayers. He is the great healer, and He is in the process of doing just that. His will be done. All He asks in return is that I give Him the glory by showing and telling everyone what He is doing for me. Through my transformation, I challenge each and every one of you to put your faith, your hope, and your trust in the Lord. Again, if it helps even one person to open his heart to Christ, then the last 21 years haven't been in vain.